First and foremost, for those who haven't been introduced yet, Global Music for Life. Can you tell us the concept behind it?
Basically, it's a way of subliminally providing people with health information that they enjoy. You know, it's kind of like that old concept, Schoolhouse Rock, where you kind of learn the Constitution. You know, I'm just a Bill. Yes, I'm only a Bill.
Mm-hmm.
If you kept listening to it every Saturday when you're eating your Cheerios or whatever, as a kid, you got into it. And so now, what we hear a lot, one of the most popular music for most people or most teenagers is hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
So the concept is that you hear the beat because people don't necessarily understand the words the first time they hear the song. But if you like the beat, you like the way it makes you want to bounce or clean up your house or whatever, then you just keep listening. Because I remember the first time I heard Adele's song, I really didn't listen to the song. I just liked the sound that I heard.
Yeah, true.
So that's the whole concept,
Another question I have is that when putting in message and things like that into songs, especially when you're delivering healthcare through music, what do you think it takes longer because you're sending out a message that way for them to receive it? Or do you think it's one of those things where you just grab onto it?
You know what? I think as long as we have a great beat, people will grab onto it.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard Can't Go Out Like That.
Uh-huh.
People hear that, they grab onto it. But recognize Can't Go Out Like That, which is our song about diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not until you get probably towards the middle that you recognize what we're talking about. Because the hook is Can't Go Out Like That. The song isn't called Diabetes. But the song the beat had gone platinum in the UK like 4 times.
Wow.
And so you can buy the mechanical rights to a beat.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we did. It's like, okay, well, let's take a beat that I already know has been successful and that people like to hear. And then I love to put the violin or live instruments with, anything that I produce. And so then we added the violin to that. We're doing the violin, we're doing some drums, doing some other, little things to it. And we made our own beat, as well as, using some of the foundation from the beat that we liked, which was from a song called Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
It was called She Said by a group named Plan B in the UK.
Okay.
So we already knew people liked the beat.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, putting those words to it that meant something. So people catch on relatively quickly because they have no clue what they're listening to till later. They're just dancing. And that's the whole goal. Get you up, get you moving, and keep you healthy just without you knowing it, maybe. Until they hear this interview, right? Until they hear this interview, and they're like,
oh, yeah. Pretty much. They'll be like, oh, that's what that was about? Yes.
Right.
But what do you think is the biggest issues we're having today in today's society? Do you think it's health-wise? Do you think it's more mental-wise? Or do you think it's a combination of both?
I think it's just education.
Okay.
Most people will do the right thing if they're educated. But a lot of people, physicians, nurses, insurance companies, or just whoever, they speak above people's head.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends that are attorneys, and I may be asking them something simple about a speeding ticket, and they start using words. I'm like, what are you saying? Speak to me in English. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and they're like, you're a doctor. I'm like, I don't care. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it comes to my level. I was like, talk to me like I'm 2. And so then I know I understand it, And so it's like, I think the biggest problem is that people don't understand that, hey, sometimes you got to make it real simple. As far as like eating healthy, if someone's overweight, you don't tell them, go and, follow this nutrition diet that we have. It's like, no, you got to go. You got to figure out what you like.
Yeah.
And then what of the things that you like, which of those things are going to be healthy for you. And maybe maybe you love cake. Well, you can't eat cake every day. So maybe you start, with just eating cake on Mondays. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or maybe you eat it 4 times a day. Well, you got to start with eating it in the evening. So I think it's all about education. It's like, being healthy is not a trend. It's a way of life. So, I don't advocate any certain diet or advocate any certain type of exercise.
Mm-hmm.
I advocate education. And if you educate a man or a person, then you've given them life. Because they will take care of themselves.
That is true.
That's why I want to go with Global Music for Life. And I want it to be worldwide. I don't want it to be just hip hop. I want to go pop. I want to do country. So but we're a year old, so pretty happy where we're at. But we're going farther. We're But hip-hop will always be our basis.
Now, if people want to find out more about Global Music for Life, where can they go?
You go to Global Music, and it's the number 4, life.com. So Global Music, it's all one word, www.globalmusic, it's number 4, life.com. And they can find out all about us, they can donate, they can listen to our music, they can download our app. Our app is actually free.
Someone asked me, Dr. Hurt, what is the source of your compassion? My response, simple, because I see you. I see you as someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's mother, possibly someone's only reason for living. Thus, I see you. My name is Dr. Kiki Hurt. I'm a medical doctor. All day long, I save lives. But I have a great idea for a show. The show will be called Life's Lessons. These are doors. I love them. Because these doors, you know what they represent? They represent lessons. They represent lessons for each door that I've walked through in my life. We would talk about all these doors that we've gone through in life, whether they be medical, or they be just family issues, or money issues, or just whatever those issues are. Life's lessons. Every time I get on an airplane, the pilot always tells us how high we're going to be. He says, we're going to be flying about 38,000 feet. Why do I need to know that? Is that because I'm going to need to know how far I'm going to fall? Johnny! Johnny! Oh my God. Johnny's not responsive. Johnny! When this happens, if your friend is found down and he's not responsive, please do not walk away. Life lesson. Take him to the emergency room. My passion in life, saving lives. Saving lives through education. I think we can educate each other with the mistakes that we have made and tell each other about how we handled those mistakes. And that's why the name of the show will be called Life's Lessons. From the tree to the door to the lessons of life. Life's Lessons.
So I want you to go ahead and start talking to the audience, kind of tell them a little bit, what you do, kind of briefly, give them a brief bio.
Okay. Well, basically, I am a physician. I'm an MD. I practice 3 different types of medicine. I'm an internist. I'm board certified in internal medicine and anesthesia, as well as in critical care. And I do all types of critical care, from trauma to neuro to cardiac to whatever. And I've been doing this for about 14 years. And so about a year ago, I decided to find a different way to practice medicine, to try and reach patients in a way that patients could actually hear it. Because
Right.
the best thing that you can do to get people to take care of themselves is to educate them. And so that's when I came up with the concept of Global Music and the number 4, Life, Global Music for Life. And what Global Music for Life is we are a record company, and we produce music. And in that music, we deliver a message, whether it be medical or positive. Just about you got one life. It's kind of like YOLO, as Drake says. You only have one. You only live once. So with that one life, we want you to take as best care of it as you possibly can. So when we make music with messages, but we don't cram health information down your throat.
Hey. Oh. Hey. Okay, she get fouled. Everything I do stands for something. How you think I keep the party jumping? Hey, we just out here trying to function, have a good time. Make sure you keep the speakers bumping. I'm making big money.
Like, how did you just think of this? Like, this is just something that you thought up one day?
You know what? It was funny. I was in a restaurant, and I was listening to
teach me how to Dougie, teach me how to Dougie, teach me how to Dougie. I'm like, what the heck is a Dougie? And then I started, doing the research, realized it came back from, they were talking about Dougie Fresh, but it was a song or some words that were just always in my head when I was just doing whatever. And then I started to really look at music and the power of music and what people were doing music across the country. And then I started looking at the fact that I was singing songs that I didn't even know what the words were, but the beats were in my head. And I was like, you know what, if I can do that, or if someone can do that and people don't even know what they're talking about, but they buy that song just because they like the way it sounds, then we can do that with medicine. And so we went from this idea that I had that people were like, oh, no, that's kind of risque, to me actually putting that music out, and people are listening to this music all across the world. We're on stations in the UK. One of our biggest hits is called Can't Go Out Like That, and it's about diabetes. And, so it's just like, but like I said, if it won't bounce in the club, we don't put it out. I won't produce it. So that's how I came up with it.
I'm sitting here looking at this website, and it's nice. Like, I really like it. Like, it's good.
Thank you.
Do you guys have, like, are you involved in any magazines? I mean, have you been in any magazines? I see here on your page there's something about Hype Magazine. Have you worked with them, or?
I did the interview with them yesterday.
Wow.
Because, the first thing I had to do was get the product out.
Right.
So once, because no one believed that I could do it. So now the product is out, and as of July 31st, we're a year old. The product is out. We have 20 songs across the world that are being played on some college radio stations, some FM radio stations, a lot of the blog radio stations. And so instead of, because, everything's been financed by me, so basically it was like, okay, instead of focusing on sales, I'm going to focus on just making sure people hear.
Right.
So a lot of times I'll get up and I'll just put the music out there, on people's Facebook pages. You'll see me on NCIS a lot because it's like 15 million people. So maybe 144,000 people at least see GM4L. That's the acronym for Global Music for Life. Is GM and then number 4 and L. And so if you can just keep seeing it, then eventually the money will start to come. And the money that does come from this organization will go back out to help the people. It will not be money that goes to build $1 billion empire for myself. The money I wanted to go back out to build hospitals, to build schools, to build programs and art programs in the schools that help people to be better people. So I have a vision far beyond just music. It's taking the money earned from that music and doing things with it so that you make a difference in the world.
That's good. That's really good. I mean, it's amazing me because I'm just hearing about it, but it's just so much that's already done. And when I went to the website, I was very intrigued. I was like, wow, like this is amazing. Like she has a website, it looks good, So it's good to see that it's actually doing well, And the music sounds good. I've listened to the music, and it's catchy, like it really is. And I see that you guys have an app. You have an app out as well too.
Right. The app is free. I mean, what I would like to see happen is everybody download that app because it's for Androids and iPhones, and so you download it for free. The music is there. I try and go in every day and write on my blog if I can, or at least once a week, write health blogs. And so you can, and all the videos are always free because we have, videos. We have at least 4, maybe 6 videos. And so, but the music is free, the app is free, and the reason all that's free right now is just to get us out. So, but if you find a song and you like it, you can always buy it on iTunes, Amazon, Napster, Rodasky, whatever. You can buy it on any from anybody that you want to buy it from because we set all that up last year when we started to make the project. So that there's no reason that you don't have access to buy it if you want it. And then, because, like I said, all the money comes from me, you can also donate to us. We're in the process of becoming a non-for-profit, and that hopefully will be done by the end of this year because our goal really is to make a difference in the lives of people all across the world.